At KCB, I will say that I believe that the role of organizations, sustainability is at the core of the reason why we exist. It's actually one of the key strategic goals for our organization. So we don't exist only as an organization just for the shareholders' return or to make for profit. We don't believe it's the only reason why corporates exist. But by using the resources and networks for that corporate to extend good for society, for building a platform, and getting people to plug in the organizations, you create a strong foundation for your organization and your businesses. That's what I believe every single corporate within not just Africa, but across the world needs to be on the forefront of building long-term businesses. Corporate philanthropy, I would say, in our business and across Africa, we haven't seen a lot of this happening in the last 2 decades. But if I look at our organization like KCB, our foundation, which is a corporate foundation, has dramatically changed the way we are reinvesting and lifting communities, focusing on extreme poverty and enabling our people and their young children. And Africa's got this challenge, in my view, what you call it a youth dividend. But without resources, without good skills, without access to a job, they are not able to make progress. They are actually challenged. And so what we are seeing ourselves is to see more and more organizations strategically commit to invest in addressing the problems and challenges in their own market, integrating the community's effort, because the people work hard. And how do we address the challenges unless we can collaborate to work together as organizations? The key issue I see today, not just in Africa, but across the world, especially in Asia, in the Middle East, and part of Africa and South America, is the issue of the growing young populations that is globally interconnected. If you look at over 1 billion people in Africa today, 45% of the people today are below the age of 30. If you look at the next 10 to 20 years, this percentage will reach 60%, and I'm quoting United Nations figures. Now, that is an opportunity by itself. But unless we can then leverage and give opportunity and plan for it, there's a major issue of people looking for jobs and moving from rural areas to urban areas. So urbanization is happening at perhaps a dramatic exponential pace. So what is required today is how do we catalyze, how do we prepare for that process in the cities? So programs like what you're doing in KCB's foundation today and saying we're investing in upskilling, skilling up, mentoring, incubating and building smaller startup businesses to say out of every 10 jobs in our market, 9 jobs will be created in the informal sector. How do we actually formalize it? Because if 90% of your new jobs are coming from this sector, then we need to be able to be much more organized, build skills, build capacity, and interconnect ourselves to grow this market and create opportunities. I have always said in my view that if I'm in a position to be able to influence or positively impact in the life of a person who could never repay me, then I've made progress. And that to me will be success. So I define it in terms of the impact I'm able to create, not just in my own personal life, but in the lives of those that come into contact with me as an individual and in the businesses that I come across. And so my single resolute has always been, how do we build a global business in a local market? And I'm not satisfied with the progress we're already making. I see that every single day we scale up to one mountain and achieve one milestone, we see greater mountains to climb in the words of Nelson Mandela. And that's what keeps us going. The time is short. In fact, my bigger challenge is that in the due time, are we able to scale up and achieve the goals to uplift? If we can uplift our people from the level of poverty we have today, as an organization and as a country, I think we will be able to create a dynamic market for the entire continent. If you look at me as Joshua, it's a very historic moment for us that really run businesses across an emerging markets, like in Africa and in Kenya particularly. But my conviction is that by coming together collaboratively to build and address the greatest challenges we face today, together we are able to lift the economic opportunity and potential for our people in the region.